Okay, this isn't a report, but this is from Peter King, and it's interesting. He predicts that the 49ers will bench Trey Lance by week 7 and go back to Jimmy Garoppolo. That would be a home game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Buy or sell Peter King's prediction?
I don't think I disagree. I totally disagree. Based on what I've seen, we love the quarterback position. We analyze it to death, and we have all kind of collectively decided because there's been some errant passes in camp,
right,
that Trey Lance can't do what Jimmy Garoppolo can do.
Yeah,
I don't believe that. I believe Trey Lance can do more than what Jimmy Garoppolo can do. And once the bullets start flying for real week 1, we're going to see that. So I think Peter King is wrong.
I agree. I think he's wrong too. I mean, the Niners would have to lose a lot of games for him to get benched by week 7. And this defense is too good for them to lose all those games. Also, I think a lot of people are thinking that maybe Peter King is thinking that Trey's going to be way worse than Jimmy. And I don't see where that's coming from. Trey played last year. You can compare their numbers. Jimmy's quarterback rating was 98. Trey's was 97. They were pretty similar. I guess Jimmy was a little better. Now Trey's in year 2. And he may not be a better passer than Jimmy right away, but he's going to have a bigger impact, I think, because of the running. And I think the offense is going to be better with him because of the running. And you're going to see an offense that averaged 4.3 yards per carry last year, averaged closer to 5 this year. And I think if you have a defense that's top 3 in the league and an offense that averages 5 yards a carry, you're going to win. You could throw 15 passes, and we've seen this team do that. So I think people are kind of missing it.
I think there's potential for some offensive droughts, but I mean, what you saw in the one thing that absolutely is undeniable in my mind is that Trey, and I've seen this now for all training camp. I saw it in the game. I've seen it in mini camp. I saw it in training camp. So now I believe this is solid. He throws a pretty deep ball with accuracy and touch.
Yep.
And Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't throw that ball with accuracy. Now you've got Danny Gray, who can run by any corner in the NFL pretty much at will. I mean, guy literally plays in the 4-2s. So I expect them to hook up. And I expect them to hook up more often than you would think because Trey throws that pass well and Danny Gray runs that route well. And Shanahan was at the practices and he saw what I saw. So they're going up top to Danny Gray and they're going to hit.
Yeah, every game that they're going to take that shot. Do you think that initially Trey Lance will be a big step down from Jimmy Garoppolo as a passer?
No, I do think that Trey. I think Trey is going to be better than Jimmy because think about it. When Jimmy got late in the down, that's where the mistakes came. That's where he floated passes over the middle of the field. So, Trey, I think is going to be this line is going to break down at times. He's going to have to run for his life. From what I can tell, based on the Texans game and what I've seen in camp, he's pretty good at maneuvering the pocket like really effectively and really explosively. So he's got explosive movements within the pocket. He's going to be able to buy himself 3 or 4 extra seconds, 2 or 3 times a half, and then refocus his eyes down the field, and somebody's going to free open. And I think he's going to make some big plays in situations like that.
His completion percentage is going to be lower than Jimmy's, but his yards per attempt, which is a more important statistic, because you could just throw a bunch of screens for 2 yards and have a high completion percentage. His yards per attempt is probably going to be right around where Jimmy's was, if not higher. Then the T to INT ratio, it'd be hard for it to be worse. I mean, Jimmy's wasn't even 2-to-1 last year. So I think he might be a better passer than Jimmy. And then you factor in the running, which Jimmy gives you nothing. And now you're playing 11-on-11 football. I think this offense is going to be better than last year. Last year, the offense was Debo. That was the offense. Now I think it's Debo plus. I think it's Debo plus a lot.
You're going to have to account for Trey in the run game.
Yep.
And so then there's going to be more space in the run game. You're going to have to – this team now has Danny Gray and Ray McLeod, so you have more space down the field. There's just going to be a lot more real estate available and around and open. And I just think I think Trey, if you look at his college numbers, the one thing that you can't take away, he takes care of the football. I don't think you're going to see mass turnovers. Yeah, if you saw mass turnovers from any quarterback – you're probably looking at, going to somebody else at some point.
Right.
But I don't see mass turnovers. I see a turnover here and there and some tip passes, but an overthrow. He's not, but I still think he's going to take care of the football, especially when he has it in his hands.
I just think people are too focused on the passing game. The Niners are going to run the ball more than any other team. It's going to be about the running game. It's like, think about 10 years ago when the Seahawks had Marshawn Lynch. That was their offense. Once they brought in Russell Wilson wasn't a great quarterback right away, but just the threat of him running made Marshawn way better, made that team way better. And him just throwing 20, 22 throws a game, few shots down the field, few scrambles, that team was great. That team was a dynasty, and he wasn't even a fully developed quarterback. He was young. The Niners could do the same thing.
I think Shanahan, if you asked him, give him truth serum, I don't know if he'd say it on a podium, but I think he would say it if you got him alone, is that I think he believes that both of his quarterbacks should be on a pitch count. I don't think he wants to have Jimmy throwing it 35 times a game. I don't think he wants Trey to be throwing it 35 times a game. They have different strengths and weaknesses, but essentially I think the game plan's the same. Run some more. And then when you dominate the line of scrimmage and you've run pretty much at will, play action pass.